But why would you
It's
say
a possibility. I can only guess, right? We won't release the footage. I can only guess.
I get it.
You know? Well, have you removed any of those copies?
I ain't gonna answer that, man.
So you did. So you're removing the copies too. Because you just said you wouldn't lie to me.
I won't.
But when faced with a question that you're not comfortable with the truth, you'll just say you won't
That's
answer.
your opinion?
Is that not a fact?
Is that your opinion?
Is that not a fact? You're avoiding honesty.
I'm avoiding honesty.
Yes.
If I'm avoiding honesty, I shouldn't be doing this job. And I've been doing it for 22 years.
If you're avoiding, what did you just say?
I'm not avoiding honesty. And any cop that avoids honesty shouldn't be doing the job. We're held to a high standard.
Did you take?
We're held to. I'm not.
Did you take
that.
any of my property?
I'm not answering that question. I already told you that.
And what did you just say?
I am not answering it.
Any cop that avoids honesty.
I just told you I wasn't going to answer. So
I know, but you double speaking.
You can start asking me the same question about that document in the law because I'm not going to answer it. It's going to always be the same.
You're contradicting each other. Then maybe you shouldn't be doing this job according to what you just said.
So
that is Captain Dice with the DeLand Police Department in Florida. If you think this whole story hasn't been crazy enough, unbelievable enough, insane enough already, check out these new developments. For anybody just coming in, obviously I've got to do a quick preface, but please go check out the videos in the pinned comment to give you this full, just absolutely insane story that just somehow gets worse and worse as I attempt to help this department make it better. All right, brief backstory. Cops at this department made allegations against another cop. Some of these things are disturbing. Some involve juveniles at high school. Others involve female victims of crimes. They invested these allegations, and the cop, Damon Clark, who has a disturbing pattern in history, still works here. Even though some of these things allegedly took place at a high school, they failed to inform the school, so the school didn't know, the parents didn't know, and the public in general doesn't know. Their investigation is public record, but you have to know that it exists for you to find out about it. So I've done my part in several ways to make as much of the public aware as I possibly can. This includes leaving a copy in their own lobby. There's all sorts of different reading material for the public to read when they're in the lobby, and I added this to it. They claim to be super transparent, so I figure this is just helping them in that mission, right? Well, unfortunately, members of the department keep taking that copy, and only that, nothing else. I requested footage from the lobby cameras under public record to see who's taking it, prove and show you who's taking it. Captain Dice, who you see here, said that while they have, in the past, released footage from those cameras with no issue, now they just don't want to anymore, so they're not gonna. I tried to have a meeting with him so we could discuss this anti-transparent decision he's making for the department, or prove me wrong, show that they're not doing anything. But you got to check out that video, especially that most recent video with the very long, uncut, raw interaction with Captain Dice. And that brings us to today. From that video, which was viewed by Dice himself, and many of you took it upon yourselves to reach out to Captain Dice via email. How many, I don't know, but some of you have contacted me to say that you reached out to him. Some of you have even forwarded me the emails that you sent to him. Well, as you saw in the previous video, he tends to play the victim a lot. When I point out things like he's showing and demonstrating cowardice, he gets offended and claims that I'm calling him names. Or when I asked him if he knew what the definition of transparency is, because he said things that made me genuinely think he might not know what the definition is. He played offended again, he played the victim. I was insulting his intelligence. Well, he's the victim again in his own mind because of this video. This video that only shows his own actions. I didn't trim it, I didn't cut it, I didn't edit it. All I did was show you his own words and his own actions. He, as a representative of the DeLand Police Department. I also made it very clear, this is the image that you're going to portray. You've got every opportunity here. And he got negative feedback. He got negative feedback from his own words, his own actions. So late at night on a Saturday, a couple of hours after the video was published, he sent an email to the entire department. Now, I have recreated this email, and it's word for word. I did that to protect my source. But I do have the actual email, which is also public record. And he says, I am forwarding this email because I want you to see the result of trying to build a positive relationship with the First Amendment auditors. Having said that, please do not engage in conversations with them. My advice to you is to simply walk away from them when they want to interview you. You do not have to communicate with them. If they request a public record, do not deny them, but refer them to the front desk. And here he's going to speak of how he sees his actions on his video, my uncut raw video of my interaction with him. I have demonstrated that even a positive conversation gets viewed as negative and adversely impacts the agency as a whole. I attempted to engage in a positive interaction with them, and it resulted in hate emails, negative comments, and character defamation. I have received several emails like this one below, and it is unacceptable. Although this is not the character of the person I am, the encounter with these individuals, whether positive or negative, does not have a positive outcome on law enforcement. However, we will continue to be professional with providing exceptional service to our community. Thank you all for the hard work you do, regardless of how we are being portrayed to YouTube audiences. Keep doing what you're doing. This too shall pass. Captain Dice. Oh, where do we start? He's playing the victim here. He's sending this email to show the department that he did the right thing, that he was trying to build a positive relationship by dodging honesty and transparency, and he should receive nothing but praise for it. But talk about negativity. He said he did that trying to build a positive relationship with the First Amendment auditors. For one, thanks for labeling me there, Captain. What were you saying the other day about assuming things? I never said I'm a First Amendment auditor. I am a seeker of accountability. I'm a seeker of transparency. I am policing the police. I don't come out here to see if my First Amendment right will be protected and not violated. I expect that it's going to be respected. I mean, if not, I'll deal with it as it comes, but that's not my intent or my goal, my mission. You know damn well why I'm here. So he's separating a group of people. Please do not engage with them. So he's demonizing and labeling an entire group of people, mislabeling them even. And where does it stop? They can't talk to a journalist, someone who asks questions. Who all fits in your label? Just simply walk away when they want to interview you. So there's a loophole. Hey, if someone wants to have a conversation with you, just walk away, especially if they're looking for the right thing. If you run into a citizen and they're looking for accountability or transparency, just walk away and label them a First Amendment auditor. And as I'm displaying, those people are bad. Not a First Amendment auditor. I am quality control. And it's amazing here. I've demonstrated that even a positive conversation gets viewed as negative and adversely impacts the agency as a whole. No, Captain Dice and administration does that all by themselves. Does he genuinely think that he was trying to have a positive conversation by being anti-transparent, not answering questions, and dodging truth and honesty? That's literally what he's saying. It was his attempt to be positive. Now, the email that he forwarded to the department as an example that he received from a viewer, it was a rough email. I'll give it that. But unfortunately, it was an email from someone who didn't have all the information, didn't pay close enough attention. They mistook him for Damon Clark, who is the subject of the investigation. And it seems like they just wrote the email with just watching a little bit of the interaction. But in true victim fashion, that is the email that he decided to send to everybody as the example of those people. And this is what they do. This is how they roll. I am sure he's received lots of emails since that video was published. Many of you have contacted me to say that you emailed him. Some of you have sent me the emails that you sent to him. So it's odd that he didn't choose an email like this to show his department as an example of some of the feedback that he's received. And again, the feedback from his own words, his own actions. That video was raw and uncut. But then again, if he showed an email like this, that wouldn't have the dramatic effect he was looking for. He wouldn't seem as much like a victim as he was going for. But he says he tried to engage in a positive interaction with them. I mean them. He's talking about me there, but I don't know why he keeps calling me them. And it resulted in hate emails, negative comments, and character defamation. He pulled that with me too, said I was name calling. And I kept correcting him and saying, no, I am saying your actions are displaying cowardice. And this email is doing very much the same thing, and I still stand by that statement. He has shown lots of cowardice. He's received several emails like that, and it is unacceptable. For one, if he was as transparent as he claims to be, he wouldn't have chosen just the worst email he could find as the example. But do you know what's really unacceptable, Captain Dice? What you displayed. I gave him every opportunity. If you watched that whole video, or if you go and watch it, you saw or you will see, I even broke it down for him on what he and the department needs to do to improve their image, to stop making it worse with every action and every word. But they chose this. They chose anti-transparency. They chose avoiding honesty. That is what's unacceptable, and that's why you're getting negative feedback. He's putting the blame on everyone else, but it's him. I've had so many interactions over the past weeks with many members of this department, and the only time they've received negative feedback from those interactions are from the interactions that you've seen with administration. Just administration. Other interactions have been very positive. I've been thanked, I've been praised. Several cops here have asked me to please keep going, don't stop. As much as Captain Dice would like to make me the enemy, make us the enemy, we know who it is. His officers know who the real enemy is. He tells them, you can't have positive interactions with these people. Regardless of your interaction, if it's positive or negative, it does not have a positive outcome on law enforcement. Again, incorrect. Hiding things, lying, acting as feelings enforcement, and being anti-transparent. That's what has the negative impact. You should take a lesson from those that you supervise. They seem to pull it off without all this hate that you speak of. So he gets negative feedback, and he tries to group everybody in with him. He says, look what they're doing to us. Look what they're saying to us. No, that's what they're saying to you. And even your officers are just as frustrated with you. This feedback comes from frustration, from your own actions. The cops that work for you, they're not going to tell you, obviously, you know that. But like Captain Milan, Captain Dice dances around honesty, dances around reality, avoids what matters. And one of the greatest parts of the whole email, this too shall pass. What he's referring to as this that shall pass is people seeking accountability and transparency, people seeking what's right. And I can assure you, this will not pass. People, the public, the community will give you the feedback that you earn. I told you how you can make it positive. You failed to do it. Maybe you should reflect on the DeLand Police Department's mission statement or your core values. Do your actions and the actions of administration that have been displayed so far in this whole saga, do they line up with those core values? Or do they seem to more protect the image of the department and ego? You can't build a positive image by just saying, ignore the negative. He even said to me, if you watch that interaction, he even said to me, well, let's not focus on the negative things I've done. Let's focus on the positive. So the next time I get pulled over for speeding, I'm going to say, let's not focus on when I was speeding just now. Let's talk about when I wasn't before. Bottom line, they're avoiding it. They're avoiding the right thing. And they only have themselves to be mad at for the negative feedback that produces. They can build a fence behind the rear of their department, like I'm sure they're about to. They can partner with their neighbor, the United States Postal Service, to ask them to put restricted area signs or restricted access signs in their rear lot, all to better protect them from the scary public seeking what's right. But that doesn't mean it's going to go away. I've done nothing. You're just upset because people are paying attention and I brought things to their attention. And the people should know, they deserve to know. But he is doing nothing but trying to widen the divide between law enforcement and the people. Labeling a group of people and saying, hey, don't talk to those type of people. Those type of people are bad. Well, I guess if you got something to hide, and those type of people would be bad to you, I suppose. They're upset because the people are seeing what's going on. And I promise you, it's not going away. Go check out some of these videos if you haven't already. And we got other things going on in other videos. But stay tuned because I've already got more to show you with this story here. Share your thoughts. Think they'll ever make this right?